Welcome back to In the Slant. Week 6 is officially in the books, and it pretty much had everything. You had plenty of upsets. You had players getting kicked off the sideline and then getting traded the next day. Like, literally had everything. To recap Week 6, our predictions, I went 9-5. Dustin and Jared went 7-7. So they're still one game apart from each other, and I'm building my lead slowly.
Is he still up by one game on me?
Yeah, you guys are officially still within one of each other. But before I get into this video, make sure you guys drop a like, of course, subscribe if you're new here. Always greatly appreciated. Here to recap Week 6. And tomorrow, like usual, going to do our Week 7 prediction. So it started with Thursday Night Football, and we thought maybe it would get a little bit better based off last week, Broncos versus Colts, but it did not. Commanders versus Bears.
Well, I mean, it did get a little better.
Maybe a little bit better, but not really. I was a Commanders fan watching this, and obviously I was suffering as well. Like, I've not been high on the Commanders this year, and Wentz went out there, and he won, but he fractured his finger in the process. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks after surgery. Justin Fields for sure can't throw the ball too much, but he definitely can run. But Darnell Mooney, at the end of things, was stopped 1 yard short of the game-winning touchdown. Like, once we won that game, usually as a fan of your team, you win the game, you're like, man, let's go, we won it. But then when we won, because Darnell Mooney couldn't catch it at the end, like, he literally had it at the beginning, and then he, like, bobbled it, so it got stopped short. I was just like, really, we won this game? Like, it was just a bad game in general. Just like last Thursday. Thursday's been very bad.
I think this might be crazy to say, but my only reaction for the game, obviously, Commanders need a full-time quarterback eventually. Obviously, probably should just go to rebuild. And then Bears, I don't think Justin Fields is the dude. I don't think he has the potential to be a good starting quarterback for the NFL.
I mean, I ain't got much to say. I chose the Commanders to win, which I'm happy they won.
We all did.
Yeah, we all did.
Thankfully.
Okay.
Because of me.
Yeah, we all like flip-flop.
No, I think I chose them for...
You both chose Bears. I chose Commanders, and
Yeah.
you guys both switched.
I have
we
terrible
switched.
memory.
But yeah, so it'll be the Taylor Heineke show again. And honestly, I'm excited, to be honest with you, because Heineke has always been a lot of fun to watch. I don't picture him as a franchise QB.
Is it crazy? I see you guys winning more with Taylor Heineke.
I think we will. I think we actually will,
Yeah.
because mobility is a huge thing, and this O-line is trash. And last year, Heineke won 7 games for us, and he didn't have near enough the weapons he has now. So,
and not even just that. I feel like not like dissing Carson Wentz, but for some reason I feel like the people like the players of the Commanders literally like rallied around Taylor Heineke last season, and like I feel like it's about to happen again where Taylor Heineke's gonna get in and give him the energy they need, and other teams gonna rally around him.
this was like the best case scenario in my opinion.
Now the game, or the parts of the game I did watch, I can't put all the blame on Carson Wentz. I know Curtis Samuel had dropped wide open balls,
Yeah.
one into the end zone, which was obviously could have dropped straight into his hands.
That was a good ball by Wentz, too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so other than that, I really ain't got much to say.
No, it's the best case scenario for Washington, because this literally forces Ron Rivera's hand where Wentz is gonna have to go to the bench no matter what. And if you didn't know, in that Carson Wentz trade, if Wentz plays 70% of the snaps, we send the Colts a 2nd round pick. But now he is looking like he's not gonna play that 70%, so we keep it and we instead send them a 3rd. So that's all I gotta say.
That's
about
huge too.
And I don't know about you guys, but I've kind of forbidden myself from watching Thursday games and Monday games.
I mean, Thursday might be a little bit better this Thursday. We'll get into it
We'll
tomorrow.
see.
Cardinals versus Saints. We'll see, though.
Oh, yeah.
49ers versus Falcons. I got to say, man, I don't know how Arthur Smith is doing it with Mariota throwing the ball 14 times a game, but they win it. I just don't get it. Like,
who's getting the points for the Falcons, like in fantasy wise? Because like I thought it was like Tyler, but it's not Tyler. Like,
Drake London didn't have much.
it's Caleb Huntley.
Pitts got his touchdown, though.
They got a fumble return touchdown. Pitts got one, but like I said, I think Pitts ran like a absurd amount of, or not absurd, like a low amount of routes. Like, they just don't use Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and they're somehow 3-3.
I feel like they don't trust Marcus Mariota at all.
I don't understand their philosophy, but it's working.
They went and got him, so I mean, why else would they not? You would think.
This formula is working, which is terrible for fantasy. So if you're out there with the Falcons, like I have Kyle Pitts, and then Jared has Drake London. I don't even know if you can start them anymore. They're just barely running routes, and they don't throw the ball. So
now they continue to play like the first 3 weeks. Drake London at least was definitely getting points.
At first.
Now, like Brady said, him only throwing 15, 14 times a game is terrible.
We need better game scripts where the Falcons have to throw, but they somehow, like, I did not expect them to be up on the 49ers, but they went out there and they won. They're 3-3, so the Falcons are definitely surprising me.
This has just been like a roller coaster of like football. Like all these good teams, like they have their weeks where they look like dominant again, then they just go right back down and lose the teams.
Which we'll get into
shouldn't.
more of those
Like,
teams today for sure. But
this is the first one out of all of them. This is the first big upset I think was that game.
49ers.
and
We
Jeff
all had
Wilson
the Niners.
didn't do anything. Yeah, we all picked the Niners. We were like, no, Falcons, they're not winning this. Jimmy G and the 49ers are going to get it done. But no, that was not the case at all. So shout out to the Falcons, man. 3-3, really surprising me, to be honest with you. But I don't think it's sustainable. I think eventually it's going to come down. Mariota can't throw the ball 14 times and they're going to win.
I think eventually, if it gets to that point, they'll just up his throwing.
But low key, like it's kind of crazy to say, but like if the Falcons can like keep on pace to just go even, like the NFC, like I mean the whole NFL is just up in the air right now with like who's gonna even take the division and all that. So you can literally see the Falcons in the playoffs. I mean, because besides NFC East,
is that what they should be doing?
Well,
honestly?
see, it kind of reminds me of like Ryan Tannehill. Not that they have a Derrick Henry on their team, but like how he would only throw so little and then have Derrick Henry do most of the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's not a Derrick Henry.
I know that's what I was saying. But it's just
They're
weird how
running the
they're still
ball.
winning though.
I know it's like I said, it's bizarre. But moving on to Patriots versus Browns. Bailey Zapp has looked impressive for New England. Ramondre Stevenson had a fantastic game again. Love having him in fantasy right now.
Fantasy owners, any week Damian Harris is out, Ramondre Stevenson is a #1 running back as long as Damian Harris is not
He
playing.
played like 87% of the snaps. We didn't see another running back in the game until like the fourth quarter. Tyquan Thornton also came back for the Patriots, which was one of their draft picks. And then like I said, man, Mac Jones even get in there? I also saw something about how they weren't fond of Mac Jones right now because he's rubbing somebody the wrong way in the New England organization. I don't know what's going on there, but do you continue to start Bailey Zapp?
Yeah, 100%. Like I was telling you guys at the beginning of the season, there were rumors going around about how Mac Jones was struggling to get the playbook down at the beginning of the season, and you just see Bailey Zappi go in here and he's looked like an absolute stud. What was it like? I think he's had like 596 throwing yards in his last 2 games or something around like somewhere around that, like 600 yards in 2 games, and he's looked really good. The Patriots offense has looked 100 times better than it has been with Mac Jones under center. So if you're Bill Belichick, I just don't see a way where you
turn the ball back to Mac Jones. I don't see it either. I mean, if Bailey Zappi is winning you games like this, I think you could roll with it.
It'd be different if he was like barely getting wins, but like he's literally looked so good like as a quarterback. So I mean, maybe like everyone was talking about Cooper Rush. Like this might be the next Tom Brady that you see. Bailey Zappi.
Maybe.
Well, that's just Belichick just being a great coach himself. But also, I don't think the Patriots will start earning some of our respect now because I have been against them, I think, almost every week.
It was never their. I always would say how their defense is
Actually,
good.
the defense chose the Patriots.
Did I?
Yeah,
I thought I chose the Browns.
Well, it's because we kept flip-flopping, and then I established like we need to stop flip-flopping.
Yeah, because we did it a lot.
Thankfully, your flip-flop landed on the Patriots. You landed on the Browns.
Well, I think I did actually. I do remember that now because I did bring up the Patriots defense, which is really good.
Because I used to say like as long as the Patriots ain't getting 20 points or more scored on, they're gonna win. But now they're actually scoring points. So like now with the defense and how their offense is looking, I mean,
and they did great on shutting Chubb out too that whole game. So
exactly. I mean, shout out to the Patriots, man.
You guys are looking good.
But Jets versus Packers, man.
This is embarrassing.
The Packers are struggling. They're down bad right now.
Their offenses look terrible.
Jets draft class is living up to the dream right now, man. The Jets go out there and they win with Zach Wilson only throwing for like 110 yards, and Sauce Gardner has
playing
lived
great
up.
football.
Dude, that cheesehead thing was funny. When he was
Speaking
leaving
of
the
Zach
stadium.
Gardner, I had to read this because I know Sauce Gardner is playing well.
Yeah,
so in Seagull coverage this season, he is an 86.7. This is from PFF. 17 targets, 4 catches allowed, 7 forced incompletions, and allowing a 19.5 passer rating. Like he is just playing out of his mind. He's been shutting down the #1 receiver for every team. He has been doing well. He's lived up to everything. I wonder if the Texans regret, drafting Derek Stingley over Sauce Gardner, but
I mean, they were both like high prospect cornerbacks. So like, I mean, I guess you can't be too upset, but like at the same time, like you see how Sauce Gardner's playing, and you kind of have to be like, dang, dude, did we make the wrong decision?
and Breece Hall, not to mention, is balling out as well. Like it's just literally going super well.
Shout out to the 316.
Yeah, I mean, it's Breece Hall being from here is awesome. But there's one negative to take away. Elijah Moore went on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he had 0 targets. So someone was saying someone tweeted out that how he had 0 targets, and then Elijah Moore was like, I don't want to be the selfish, or I'm not going to say anything because that would make me the selfish one because we're winning games, and it's forever what I dream of, but I don't understand it either. So obviously he's being passive aggressive in a way where he's very frustrated by not getting the ball. But I think eventually the Jets will have game scripts where, Zach Wilson's throwing more, because there was like a return touchdown, I think, for the Jets. The Jets defense was just shutting down the Packers. So, I mean, it's just one of those games where the ball wasn't being thrown a ton. So
the Packers defense has been embarrassing to me. From the Packers fans saying that since they didn't have to pay Adams, that they're going to upgrade the defense. They add all these additions.
I mean, on
and
paper, it looks like a good defense, but yeah, it's not been where you want it to be at all. So, and then the offense just struggling right now. They're not giving Aaron Jones the ball enough. They get the Commanders next week, so two teams that are definitely struggling, and that's going to be a huge testament. Don't know who the Jets play next. I know they get the Bills here soon as well, so that'll be an ultimate test for the Jets. But like I said, man, it's very, very nice to see the Jets succeeding. New York football is on top right now. Buffalo, New York Giants, and the Jets are all on top right now.
It's crazy, like I obviously didn't watch much of this game, or like I just watched. I watched like the little I literally only watched a highlight of Sauce Gardner with the cheese hat, but like
he's on the thumbnail, by the way, with that little cheese head.
Heck yeah, I forgot. Like I just don't get how the Jets because I looked at Zach Wilson's fantasy points. He only had like 4 points. So like Elijah Moore's getting mad about not getting the ball, but I mean Zach Wilson wasn't throwing much that game anyway. So like, how are you gonna get upset about getting 0 targets when Zach Wilson obviously didn't throw the ball that much?
Like I said, when the game script is going the way it is, I mean,
you don't really question it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're winning, you're winning. That's
100%.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of this game, so I don't really have much to say besides it being an upset for the Packers losing to the Jets. But like you guys said, Jets aren't playing bad football.
Jaguars versus Colts is the next game we want to talk about. Matt Ryan and the offense finally got going a little bit. The Jaguars, this was a close game, but Alec Pierce at the very end gets the game-winning walk-off touchdown. Deion Jackson had a great game for Dustin in fantasy. So I
picked him up like 20 minutes before
started him. So that was a big one.
Dude, I was starting Tevin Coleman, who got like 0.37 points, and I literally picked up Deion Jackson. I'm like, I'm just starting him.
That's a huge save right there.
That is a huge save.
Now the real question is, did we jinx Jacksonville?
I don't know, because we were saying like this team looking legit, and now they've lost 2 straight.
Ever since we hyped them up,
they went downhill.
Yeah. But they were up a few points on the Colts in 1 minute.
I remember. I mean, we didn't sit down and watch this game or anything like that, but you have the scores that continue to scroll through, and the Jaguars were up. So I was like, man, the Jaguars are gonna win again, aren't they? And then nope, the Colts at the very end. Like I said, it was a close game, and I remember seeing the Alec Pierce game-winning touchdown at the end. But other than that, I didn't get much of this game watched. I know Travis Etienne has looked good as well for the Jaguars. But unfortunately, they have lost 2 straight and are back to earth a little bit. So we'll see if they can bounce back. But with us not being able to watch this game as much, it's kind of hard to comment on it further unless you guys have anything else to add.
No.
But shout out to the Colts. I guess the offense got going. Michael Pittman had a big game for them as well.
And it's crazy to see that they are 3-2 now.
Yeah. Vikings versus Dolphins. Waddle gave the game away, unfortunately. I watched this whole game. Waddle had a catch where he tipped it up in the air and it got intercepted, and then he had another catch where he fumbled. So it was 2 massive turnovers. They need Tua back very badly. And honestly, man, the Vikings could have easily lost this game. Skylar Thompson got hurt early on. Not that that's like bad or anything. Like, he actually looked good though when he was playing, and then Teddy Bridgewater came in when he really wasn't supposed to. And like I said, the Vikings could have easily lost this game. If Tua was playing, I think the Dolphins would have won this because the Vikings were kind of struggling a little bit. But they walk away with the victory. And like I said, the Dolphins get to go on Sunday Night Football where Tua will be back, and that's going to be big for them.
And that's like the thing with the Vikings I've been saying. It's like, it's not that I'm saying the Vikings are a bad team. They're just like not beating the teams that they should, like as big as like they've had a close game with the Bears, division rivals, I get it. But like all these games, like they're barely squeaking by and like winning by like 3-4 points. Like I haven't seen like any dominant performance by the Vikings where I'm like, okay, this team is like, and like, yeah, if it was Tua and they beat Tua, then I'd give them like their props.
Absolutely.
But like, I just can't give the Vikings their props yet, because like the wins they have been getting are like barely, and like the other teams still have chances to win all the time.
Exactly.
As a team that's 5-1, I can't really say much. As a win is a win, regardless of
who
they
it is
play.
a win.
No, yeah, I know, but I mean, I think that's about it. I mean,
all right,
shout out to the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Dolphins 3-0 with Tua. Now they're 0-3 without him. Tyreek Hill also leading the league in receiving yards. He just continues to get the ball short and just takes it the whole 9. He just getting yards after yardage. Waddle and Tyreek Hill are going to be a great wide receiver duo for years to come. But once Tua is back, I expect the Dolphins to be back on top. They get a turnaround game against the Steelers, which is a game they could, bounce back a little bit.
And don't forget for the Vikings fans, too, that since the Packers have been looking super mid, you guys are getting a pretty good game lead on every other team in the NFC North. So
Exactly. So the Vikings easily, kind of run away with that division right now, to be honest with you. Bengals versus Saints. I didn't get to watch any of this game either, but I know Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow finally showed up. They both looked really awesome. Still no Olave, Thomas, or Landry for the Saints. Well, Olave was playing last week, but unfortunately, he didn't play this week because of the new concussion rules. And then it looks like Thomas might not be available for Thursday either, which is a blessing because I would be playing him in fantasy. But yeah, shout out to the Bengals. Finally looking good and get a win on the road in New Orleans.
is Winston coming back on Thursday? Because I heard Andy Dalton might be out this Thursday, too.
Maybe, because I've also heard that they might still start Andy Dalton. So I don't really know what's going on in New Orleans right now. Right now, their pick is projected to be in the top 5, and it goes to the Eagles. So right now, the Eagles being 5-0 have a 5th pick in this draft, which is
wild.
absurd.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw,
wild.
dude. I literally saw this on Twitter. Like I don't remember what it was, like something about the Saints, and like some Eagles fan commented on it. He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks for the top 5 pick" or something like that. And like dude, I saw these Twitter fans going at it in the comments. I was like,
Eagles definitely let him feel that burn.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, 5th pick for the Eagles is insane.
Yeah.
If the Saints continue to struggle, which I think the Saints will eventually get to, even if it's not a playoff record, it's probably what is it,
even
7-10 or something.
I think they go even.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll-
let's let him get back healthy.
Yeah, they'll be back, and I don't know if it'll stay a top 5 pick, is what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
still, it'll be like a middle of the road pick still for the Eagles, which is still good from that draft night trade they made, or right before the draft. Ravens versus Giants. The Giants have gone to 5-1. We said, man, are the Giants the worst team or worst 4-1 team in football? I mean, they just won another game against, I would argue, a legitimate team against in the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar with 2 killer turnovers at the end, unfortunately, loses the game for the Baltimore Ravens, and the Giants squeeze out another one. Another close victory. The Giants are 5-1. Jared, I'll turn my attention to you.
Well, I'll let you guys go first. Just say what you have to right now. And
I said what I need to
end.
say. I think Lamar just kind of killed you guys at the end with the 2 turnovers, a fumble, the interception.
Daniel Jones and Barkley have been very impressive. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Not Daniel Jones has been very impressive. Barkley definitely has.
Well, we held
But
him.
Daniel-
we held him pretty good. So
Yeah, but Daniel Jones has definitely looked better than he has in the past, and it looks like their offense is finally starting to get some things going and able to put points on the board, unlike they were.
And
able
they've
to in
been
the
doing this
past.
with literally no wide receivers.
Receiving, all their wide receivers.
They got
are
their rookie
injured.
wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson back this week. He played limited amount.
I
of
wish I would have
snaps.
scooped him. That was a good pickup by you.
Yeah, I was
so-
like, man, they have no wide receivers. Give me Wan'Dale Robinson. But Jared, we'll let you say your piece about this one. Come
all
on.
right. I just want to start off first by saying, to the GM, this is your fault because you never went and got us a killer wide receiver like DJ Moore, Odell Beckham, whoever, just a proven wide receiver. And now that Rashad Bateman's out, who are we dealing with? We got Duvernay, Robinson, and the list just goes on. Our best.
It's
targets-
crazy how Duvernay has not done anything either with Bateman.
Well,
at
I
all.
mean, you got to look at it kind of like Lamar. He's kind of overthrowing receivers. At least these past 3 games he's played, he hasn't been looking great. Greg Roman, his play calling is fucking terrible. He puts our fullback. You know that turnover we had, and when Lamar threw an interception. You know who he's throwing it to, right?
Patrick
A
Ricard.
fullback. How are you gonna throw a jump ball to a fullback that's 350 pounds?
Oh, that was that crazy play when he was trying to make something out of
Yeah, it
nothing.
happened, and he threw it, and that's who he's
Yeah,
throwing it
okay.
to.
I couldn't remember the interception, but now I remember that play, and then obviously the fumble at the end I definitely remember. But just when we think the Ravens, are going to get more help, they're going to go, maybe sign Deshaun Jackson.
Dude, if we get Deshaun Jackson, I'm gonna just fall off the face of this earth. We have never went in Lamar's career at all went and got him a number 1 target. You can say we drafted Hollywood and Bateman regardless, but those are rookies. Why not go and get a wide receiver who's
wide
proven
receiver.
that we can just sign? But also, like I said, just at the end, Lamar had those 2 killer turnovers. I think we turned the ball over within 2 times within 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That is just awful. It's just Lamar trying to make a play, which I think you just give her the ball, punt the ball. And I guarantee that probably does not happen. But also, again, our 4th quarter leads. You guys seen how many times we have blown those?
Yeah.
Miami, the Giants, and now who else was it?
Giant or
I don't know why I'm blanking on that.
Dolphins,
Right
Bills.
now. Bills as well. That was in the 2nd quarter. But still, just our second half performance has not been great at all. It's just, I don't really know. We have an answer for it. I say we just go get a number 1 wide receiver, and maybe we can flip this offense around.
J.K. Dobbins also left the game early, and Kenyon Drake looked
Kenyon Drake
impressive
killed it. He looked great.
in his absence. But like I said, the Giants go to 5-1. Shout out to the Giants.
Another fantasy owners, Kenyon Drake is definitely a good pickup just for this week. I think.
I don't like him as a pickup. to be honest.
I
wouldn't
do.
mess with him.
I like him just for this
I
week.
mean, he's
only.
not bad, yeah, but
Maybe. But all right, next game. This was another crazy upset. I didn't watch this game at all because I thought for sure the Bucs would win easily because the Steelers have been struggling. Kenny Pickett left with a concussion in this one. Somehow the Steelers still won. I bet Tom wishes he stayed retired at this point. That was like the only thing I could say. I mean, like, I don't know how they're struggling so bad. I haven't been able to sit down. Well, actually, I've watched a couple Bucs games where the offense just isn't gelling as much as it should. But Mike Tomlin and the Steelers get a victory when no one expected them to. So maybe Mike Tomlin's not going under 500 after all. Who knows?
No, they're still going to go under 500.
Yeah,
What if they come out and beat the Dolphins on
they're
Sunday?
not beating the
as well?
They're
Dolphins.
not beating
This
the
is just a
Dolphins.
luck win. I don't even know how it happened.
Tom Brady, I feel like he looked so mad. He was
On
pissed
that
at his
bench, he was
O-line,
fired
dude.
up.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
he was so mad at that O-line. And, like, not even just that. Like, I keep on seeing that meme, like, oh, my wife and kids left me, and this is why I
I
get
was
stuck.
just about to bring that up.
Dude,
I left my kids for you guys, or to be losing to Kenny Pickett, or whatever the hell, whatever the meme said. It was funny though.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, did he actually say that?
I was literally sitting there listening to it like
I
4 or
listened-
5 times. Like, there's no way he said that.
I literally listened to it like 3 times. I'm like, this dude did not really say that. He's like, imagine Tom Brady just looks at his O-line. He's like, if we're losing to Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I went and reassured myself because I went and looked at the comments and made sure that obviously it was just a joke.
I
but-
know. I couldn't tell if he said it or not,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure he didn't say that. That's crazy to say on the sideline.
Yeah, imagine saying that about a rookie. Like, we're losing to Kenny
And
Pickett.
just bringing all that drama up in your life on the game. But yeah, man, the Bucs need to get it together, man. Shout out to the Steelers. Najee Harris looked a little bit better. He got a touchdown. I had him on my bench. Not that it really mattered too much, but
He did say he was back at 100% after
Yeah.
removing. What was that from his foot?
he had like some kind of metal plate in his foot or
Yeah.
something that he was wearing in his shoe. So now it's officially gone.
So fantasy owners, be prepared for Najee Harris to be
I
back.
don't know if I'm going to start him Sunday or not. We'll see.
a risk.
Panthers versus Rams. I watched this game a little bit as well because I wanted to make sure CMC didn't score too much against me, and he looked good in the first half, and then the Panthers just stopped getting the ball. I'm going to say this. Stafford still looks horrible. He threw a pick 6 in this game. Allen Robinson got involved more, so that's good sign to see. I will say that. Then there's some off-field stuff we need to talk about because, like I said, we know the Panthers suck. We know they're probably going to be tanking towards the #1 overall pick potentially.
For a quarterback.
And the Rams are a mess right now still. Even though they won this game, I still think Stafford is playing terrible. But let's talk about some trade things because this is what I kind of brought up earlier. Robbie Anderson left the game frustrated. He got kicked out. He got in the wide receiver coach's face. I knew for a fact when I was watching that, I was like, Robbie Anderson's never playing a snap for the Panthers ever again.
Nope.
I don't know how long it was going to take for them to trade him, but they traded him to the Cardinals because the Cardinals, they lost Marquise Brown.
for
which
the
we'll talk-
season potentially.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit here in a second. But then you got Robbie Anderson. Like I said, Robbie Anderson getting traded. And then Cam Akers, also for the Rams. Apparently, he's never going to play a snap for them,
I've
which
seen
is,
that.
I don't know what's going on
I saw
there.
a rumor though that it said that he might never play one again, but he said
In the
it's
NFL
up in
period?
no, just
Or
up,
just-
no, just up in the air with the Rams. Like
Oh, okay.
like the Rams said that he was never gonna play a snap again, but then I also saw a report that said like it's not like completely over yet, but like it's not
But I
looking
saw
good.
Sean McVay like literally said publicly that they're trying to find a new team for Cam Akers. So
Really?
yeah, like
When
it's-
was this?
like literally yesterday on Twitter or the other day. I don't remember. I remember seeing it, and it was from a real source that I guess Sean McVay said publicly that we're trying to find a new start for Cam Akers. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm not even trying to because obviously I had Cam Akers on my team like this whole year. I finally dropped him. I don't care what anyone says. Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson are both average running backs, and the fact that Cam Akers couldn't get the edge over Darrell Henderson is very embarrassing. And I don't know what team that Cam Akers can go to and be a starter because I mean
Exactly.
a lot of these backup. Maybe
49er. Exactly. There's so many. Like, you're just talking about Cam Akers. If you're gonna trade him, like, I don't know where he goes where he's an instant starter. Honestly, the one team I could find was maybe the Falcons because Cordell Patterson's 31, and maybe Akers can find.
I
like
feel like
Cordell
it'd just be
Patterson
more of
showed
a-
more light than whatever.
I know. I was just saying because Cam Akers being 23 kind of fits the timeline of what the Falcons with with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. But other than that, man, I don't know what's going on with Cam Akers and why he's getting traded and why the Rams don't want him anymore or why he doesn't want to be there. Maybe it's the O-line. I don't understand it. Our buddy has a Cam Akers jersey. I don't know what he's gonna do with that now if they end up trading him.
Or just tape over the name and put somebody else on the team.
Maybe put Henderson or Cooper Kupp or something. But man, yeah. And then McCaffrey might be traded. You got Brian Burns. Just watch out for the Panthers potentially blowing it up.
And your guys' quarterback, we were making calls on him because we had to put Nate Hobbs on IR. I heard the Raiders were calling on what's his name, Jackson or whatever.
J.C. Horn? Or no, William Jackson.
Your guys' cornerback.
Oh yeah, today I saw a tweet that he denied requesting a trade. So I don't know. I feel like he did request a trade, but who knows, man?
Yeah, because I heard that the Raiders called him, right? Or we made a call to the Commanders.
Real quick, Nate Hobbs is out for how long? 4 weeks.
I think it's
right?
4 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
I mean,
which is a huge loss for us.
You can have him for. I'm sure it only costs like a 6th round pick to get him. Honestly,
we need it. Well, we need somebody because if Nate Hobbs is out, that's our best quarterback, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna need someone.
And Anthony Averett's still been on injured too. I don't know when he's coming back. Yeah, he's been. Our whole cornerback.
I was high on him for the Raiders.
No, he was playing good when but he's been injured too. Our whole cornerbacks are just injured.
Next game, Cardinals versus Seahawks. Like I said, the Cardinals traded for Robbie Anderson because Marquise Brown went down in this game. I saw a report that he might be out for the season. I also saw a report where they got tests that were a little bit more positive. So we'll see if he does come back. It sounds like it'll be late in the season if he does. So they get Robbie Anderson. The Cardinals still look bad, but one thing that might be able to save their season is they get D-Hop back in Week 7. Well, he might. I assume he's playing. It sounds like they activated him, and he might play Thursday, which I assume he's going to. But obviously, we record this on Tuesday, so we don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure he will. But Geno gets another W for the Seattle Seahawks. The Cardinals, like I said, have been struggling, man. I don't know what's going on. They just look much better on paper, but maybe with D-Hop, things just changed for them. And I don't like Robbie Anderson all that much, but definitely, I guess if you replace Marquise Brown with Robbie Anderson, that's better than nothing. And then you still have Rondale Moore as well, and then A.J. Green whenever he gets
I don't even know
there.
why they made the trade for Robbie Anderson. I'm sorry. I just don't think.
It's because A.J. Green has looked horrible.
But so is Robbie Anderson.
That's true.
I mean, but, he kind of just fills the void. Robbie Anderson's still that deep threat receiver.
And he's younger, too. And he's young still, too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, like I said, I don't know why the Cardinals are struggling as much as they are. I finally get to sit down and watch them, way more on Thursday because obviously we're watching the game. So we'll see what's going on. But with D-Hop, hopefully that offense just transforms. I don't know.
Like Dustin said, it's been a roller coaster for the NFL, and that's definitely what's happening with the Cardinals.
Yeah, like some teams look good that we didn't expect, and some teams look bad that we did expect them to be good. It's just how it's kind of rolling right now.
And like you said, 100% when you look at paper, especially their offense, you would just think,
yeah, it's going to be clicking. Like, it's going to be a good offense. But nope, not happening at all.
But I feel like I can
only just think about the Kyler Murray Call of Duty stuff.
What was that meme?
You said that said, Robbie Anderson, what's your KD or something like that?
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said, I know Robbie Anderson was confused when Kyler Murray asked what his loadout in KD was. So stupid.
Oh, my.
But next game, Bills versus Chiefs. This game didn't live up to the hype as much as we would have liked. It wasn't as high scoring, obviously, as it was in the divisional round. But Josh Allen gets his revenge in Arrowhead, wins on a game-winning touchdown to Kevin Knox. Gabe Davis had a great game, or he had a great catch, touchdown. And then Juju finally woke up and had a great game as well. But unfortunately, like I said, the Bills got a game-winning touchdown on the Chiefs with Dawson Knox. Or did I say Kevin Knox?
Yeah, you said Kevin Knox.
Dude, I do that every time.
Because of the NBA.
Why. Yeah, I say Kevin Knox every time, or I say Dawson Knox. I don't get it.
Yes, you said Kevin Knox, but I was like, you said Knox. I'm sure it was.
I meant Dawson Knox.
Yeah,
apologies. I was like, I knew I said Kevin Knox, didn't I? But yeah, no, shout out to the Bills, man. They need it. This was a big win for them.
Huge win. I will say that with fantasy wise for the Chiefs, I still don't feel confident starting any receiver for them. It seems like every week another receiver is like their number one that week, and then it just switches. So last week it was like MVS, this week Juju. So until like
if it's Kelsey, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Kelsey
or Clyde, I guess, would be the only two people on the Chiefs that I would start.
Clyde didn't even do great.
Yeah, Jerry McKinnon had the
They're running 3 running backs.
Yeah.
It's just,
McKinnon's look good randomly.
The thing is, Clyde has always produced over like 15 points each week. It's just
because it's been touchdowns dependent. Like once he doesn't get that touchdown,
the goal line touches.
Yeah, I mean, like literally every week he's had a double-digit score. It's because he had a touchdown. Like I said that that's touched. Eventually that's going to come down, and it has. I think the last 2 weeks.
And maybe I should be glad that trade didn't go through for me.
I told you, Dustin. I told you we saved you from making a bad trade. I mean, yes,
I thought you were still winning,
but. No, I knew Clyde was going to fall off, man. That was touchdown dependent, at least in fantasy.
Shout out to Alvin Kamara dropping like 15 plus every week again. Thank you.
Exactly. I told you, man. You were going to want Kamara. And if that trade went through, I would have lost that week. So, really glad it didn't.
Brady's luck is I don't even know how to put it in words. It's just insane. His luck's out of this world.
But Mahomes threw an interception at the very end.
Yeah, that's
so
what I
the
was
Bills
going to bring
sealed
up, which sucked, but it was a great game.
Yeah, no, awesome game. But next game, Cowboys versus Eagles. Let's just go ahead and say it right now that some people were saying Cooper Rush should start over Dak. I think that is laid to rest now. Cooper Rush is not better than Dak whatsoever.
I feel like there's people that were saying that weren't even watching the games. They were just seeing that the Cowboys got the W on the scoreboard, and we're like, we're winning more with Cooper Rush.
Yeah, no.
Now,
It's been the defense.
He did throw, 3 interceptions?
Yeah.
But, I mean, for him throwing 3 interceptions and them only winning by damn near just one score.
They almost did a little bit come back at the
Yeah.
end, but then the Eagles kind of got another touchdown and kind of took it out of the lead. Or at least I think they did, right? What was the final score
It
again?
was 26-17.
Yeah, I thought they put it out of reach at one point, and then they tried to go for... Didn't they go for 2? I can't remember. Regardless, they won. But yeah, Cooper Rush, like I said, people were saying how he doesn't turn over the ball. I say BS because when he played Washington, he threw an interception twice, and both plays were called back because of some stupid things we did. Whether it was 2 penalties on us, but which was away from the play, which was the most annoying part, I will say. But literally threw 2 interceptions, so he does turn the ball over. He's not as good as people were hyping up to be. Like, he's a solid backup. Don't get me wrong, but he's not better than Dak, and we need to establish that right now. So let's not say that ever again. And I think Cowboys fans are fully aware of that now.
Welcome back, Dak Prescott this week.
Apparently, he's going to be playing Sunday.
Yeah, but I say Rush has done his part. Now it's time for the main quarterback to come back in and take over.
Last time, and I think some people are saying that because Dak looked horrible in Week 1. But that was against the Bucs.
I mean,
I think he's going to look really good.
Yeah,
so.
I was about to say I'm definitely not choosing Rush over Dak.
No, not at all. Broncos versus Chargers to end off another game with Broncos in primetime, but thankfully I looked ahead. They don't play in primetime unless you count London as a primetime game because they do play in
next
London.
3 years.
And then they play the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, I think, later on in the season. But other than that, I don't think there's any more primetime games, just those 2 left, which is still definitely a decent amount from what we've seen. But Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett, man, just look like they don't know what they're doing. I was like, damn. After what first quarter, I was like, damn, Russ is back. That's what we love to see.
He was like, what, 10 for 10?
Yeah, it was 10 for 10, threw a touchdown,
100
had a
yards.
really nice escape, threw a ball down to Jerry Jeudy. I was like, this is the Russell Wilson I know. And
let
then
Russ cook.
I was like, hyping about let Russ cook. I was like, Russ is back, baby. And then
and second half, he got like 5 yards.
second quarter.
Yeah,
second
quarter to the end of the game.
Second, third, fourth quarter,
Yeah.
he was just
and OT.
He was like
and
3 for
overtime again for the Broncos.
His stats were terrible. I think he was like 3 for 15 and
Back to
took 2
looking the
sacks.
same as he has been. And
Yeah.
then one thing I do want to say, the Chargers definitely didn't look too good either. The Broncos defense, I do give them credit. Patrick Surtain is also really good. He was locking up Mike Williams most of the night. So PS2, really damn good as well, which I love that nickname for him, by the way. But I got to say something that someone brought up, which I think makes a lot of sense. So basically, yesterday, as you guys know, Melvin Gordon kind of stopped getting touches. And some people were saying, well, okay, so Melvin Gordon is good enough to take touches away from Javonte Williams, right? But he's not, but Latavius Murray can take touches away from Melvin Gordon. Like, what sense does that make? Where it just like, if you're not high on Melvin Gordon, why was he getting touches from Javonte Williams in the first place? So they threw Latavius Murray out there more majority of the time. Mike Boone got some run, but Melvin Gordon after the game said, "I thought I could have helped, but I guess not." So they just stopped giving him the ball, stopped running him. And the Chargers escaped.
I mean, none of the running backs. I mean, not even Murray has looked good.
Well,
so
maybe they're just looking at experience at that point. Murray over, or Gordon over.
I mean, they've been in the league around the same time.
Mhm.
No, I'm saying like Gordon from Williams.
Oh yeah, I guess I get what you're saying.
I don't know. Maybe just the way to look at it.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not even trying to diss. Like Javonte showed lights of like greatness, but he also showed like some pretty bad moments in this year before he got injured. Which I'm still sad about. Obviously, I know Max Crosby did too. I'm sorry, but I mean, all the running backs have looked meh. Mike Boone's literally a nobody. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, how are you gonna put Mike Boone out there over Melvin Gordon? There's just no way.
I mean, Melvin Gordon's not the greatest either. So.
But better than Mike Boone.
I would take Latavius Murray over all
Oh
three
no,
of
I
those
would
guys.
too. I would.
What she was getting, but I don't know, man. Nathaniel Hackett, there's just something about this Broncos team that's just so disappointing. Like we say, like, do we even need to talk about this?
No.
We've said our piece about the Broncos. Let's just end it off on
That's
that.
why they
man.
should never get another primetime game
Yeah,
for
let's
the
just
next
not
3
have to watch them
years.
for prime
I mean, the
time.
Chargers look bad too. That's the only thing I have to say
Yeah,
about
they got
it.
the win.
I literally said in the group chat yesterday. I said I wish the Raiders could have played this Chargers team or something like that.
And then one real quick thing I want to say is Justin Herbert has thrown a touchdown in 27 straight games or something crazy like that. And then DraftKings did like a boost where like if you took the over on one touchdown or any touchdown or touchdown for Justin Herbert, it was like a boost, and then he didn't throw a single one at all. So like, it's just so weird how that works. That some people are like saying, DraftKings sports books and the NFL are in cohesion.
No, yeah, they made sure you didn't get that.
Yeah, so but that's all I gotta say. Tomorrow we're doing our Week 7 predictions. I know you guys need a better record, so definitely try to pick better. But thank you guys for watching.
Well, again, sorry that I didn't have much to say about the 12 o'clock games. It's hard when you're watching your game. Try to keep up with everything else going on.
I mean, it's impossible to watch every single game. It's just how it is.
I just wanted to put that out there.
I mean, we kind of like on most games, you guys have to realize that we just kind of go based off the score and like the paper on the roster.
I watch as much as I can, obviously, but
I'll watch the highlights if it's like a crazy game.
Even if you have every game on the TV, it's literally still impossible to like focused in on that one.
And make sure you remember, this happened, this happens.
Exactly. But this is in the slant. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Week 7 predictions. Saying peace.